hopefully.
And we're back here at Alex G. Spanos Center, a big match between Pacific and Oregon State, here as the seniors get ready to go. The crowd is electric here, Jake, behind us. You have all the fans coming to see their favorite players, but today it's really about the seniors as we get underway here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, Senior Day, always a huge event here at the Alex G. Spanos Center. Time to appreciate and time to honor those that have been here for quite some time. Now, on the other side of the fence, though, Oregon State 10-4 in conference play. Oregon State, one of the top teams in the WCC, 16-8 overall. It will be a monumental climb for the Tigers, but this young squad is looking for upset city here in the Port City.
We'll have to see how it goes. We can barely hear ourselves talk. The crowd is so loud here, but
it was so loud I had to switch headsets
a
second ago.
Right?
Sorry for the discombobulation a little bit there, but it's a big night. I'm excited to be here. Sarah's excited to be here. Opening serve here in just a second. You can see Pacific coming together. Words of encouragement for each other. You can see in that huddle, though, is Mila Stojakovic. Mila Stojakovic, who is slated for ACL and meniscus surgery in just a few days. She was throwing up serves. She was adding to the emotional element of the night. She was there with her team. Although she cannot compete, she was throwing up serves in practice, sharing some laughs with the seniors. Great atmosphere.
Yeah. And, you know, we knew that she was going to be a big part of this team, even though she wasn't actually on the floor. Coach said, look, she's going to be coaching with us. She's going to be giving tips. She's going to be just as big on the floor as she is on the sideline as she heals. Maybe not be ready for next season, but the season after, and we're wishing her well in her surgery, as you said, Jake, that she's going to have in just a few days. But it looks like Oregon State getting the first serve here.
In the orange, and it goes long. Jackie Matias serves it long to start this thing. Starts it on the right foot for the Tigers. The Orange Army is here in masses. Big noon game here in the WCC.
Pacific looks to take advantage.
There's Verani with the serve. Swain, who is questionable to play, is in the lineup. And that's Keller.
Quick 2 points for Pacific, exactly how they want to start against a team like Oregon State. You need to come out fast. And look, they need to really feel this home cooking, take advantage of the home cooking, but just continue to rack up these points as they're already up 2-0 here.
Swain once again. I believe that was tipped.
Yep, that was touched.
That was touched by Oregon State, makes it 3-0 in favor of the Tigers. Now, Swain was questionable, you were telling me, Sarah, with some foot issues. She's in the lineup.
Yep, she's in the lineup. She missed their last match last week against Santa Clara. They thought at first that she had broken her foot, but it ended up being just a ligament issue, and she's been taking good care of it. Shout out to the medical staff who's been helping her get through it, and it doesn't look like she's hurting much. We probably won't see her play, you know, we'll probably see her get off the floor a little bit. We're not going to see her play as much as we're used to seeing her play, but nonetheless, she looks great. We watched her in warm-ups. It doesn't seem like it's bothering her too much, so great news.
Serve goes over the net here. Kept alive by Oregon State. Kept alive by Swain. She tried to give him a chance, sailed a little bit long. Pacific could not do anything with it. Makes this thing 3-2. Here's Teray Tella, puts it over the net. And blocked at the net, goes on the other side. Pacific extends the lead to 2. Checked into the game now is Blue Trick.
That was Allie Cox, and she's coming off a huge match herself where she had a career high against Santa Clara. I mean, she absolutely did her thing. 29 assists, 11 digs, 5 aces in that match. Of course, she wishes she would have won that one, but they still competed well.
Yeah. Some work at the net there. Unfortunately, Pacific unable to block it onto the other side of the net. Makes it a 4-3 first set. Number 11 now to serve for Oregon State. Arligu. And that's it.
I mean, this is exactly what Oregon State does. You know, they're disciplined, especially in the block, you know, funneling balls into defenders. They're aggressive. Their serves are aggressive. And they're strong in transition scoring.
Here's Narleo Glue one more time. Puts it over. There's Blue Trick.
Yep.
And gives Pacific the lead one more time.
Blue Trick, one of those seniors here. She actually does have a year of eligibility left. Whether or not she's going to come back and play, you know, we're still unsure. We'll have to wait and see what she decides. You know, she's excited to get out in the workforce and show her talents to the rest of the world, you know, but I'm sure Coach would love to have her back.
Keller puts it over, also a senior. Keller keeps it alive.
Look at Maisie.
And Maisie Smith, who's had some amazing performances this season thus far.
You know, you talk about Keller and how she can play every single position, all six, and Maisie Smith really looks up to her. She wants to become that same player, and she did play all six in their last match against Santa Clara. You know, wasn't very successful. Like she played really, really well, but struggled in the back row a little bit. So just a little bit more time. But she's a freshman, right?
Time to learn.
Yeah, time to learn for her. So I know that she's super excited for the opportunity. And
Annika Hester of the Beavers. Nice work of the net. Great job at the net by Griever. You saw her yell in enthusiasm as she put that ball on the other side, gained the point for the Tigers.
Griever has been so great for this squad, and it's crazy how these are just a bunch of freshmen doing their thing.
Gutierrez served it a second ago. Pacific cannot keep it alive.
Ali Cox tried to get there.
Back and forth this first set goes. Despite the fast start by Pacific, when you look up at the scoreboard, the lead's only one.
Yeah. Pacific definitely doesn't want.
Here's Bridget Gould. Oh no. Goldstein, by mistake.
Good eye by Keller, realizing that one's going a little long. They'll take it.
Goldstein, the 5'9" freshman from Hawaii, serves it just a little bit long, and it goes back on over, side out to the Tigers. Here's Couchon.
Couchon back in the lineup. She didn't play against Santa Clara in their last match, had a fever, but she's feeling 100% now.
Leads the team in assists, and it goes long. Couchon, unfortunately, a second ago, served a little too long. She leads the team in assists this season with 427.
Yeah.
So her presence definitely matters on that volleyball court.
Absolutely, and she's great from the service line. 23 aces on the season. I mean, she's spectacular. You don't see those errors often. So, speaking of errors, Pacific will.
Ulana Mars, 6'4" freshman, puts it too long. We've seen some service errors here. And now here's Swain, brushing off injury to be in the lineup. Almost had another ace. Key word was almost.
For someone who didn't play last match, Jalen Swain certainly putting her body on the line and giving her all.
Speaking of putting her body on the line, dives to the outside, unable to control that ball. 9-8. There's Matias, number 14 for Oregon State, handled by Gutierrez. Varani unable to put it away. But Oregon State puts it away.
Yeah, Oregon State able to just fire with all their might, find the floor there.
Jackie Matias, also from Hawaii. Keller, Oregon State has an answer.
You know, last time these two squads played each other, it was Oregon State who really just dominated. They won in all three sets, and they hit a 373 in that match while dominating inside. Serve pressure, tempo, we're seeing a little bit of that today, but Pacific just needs to keep swinging well.
Speaking of swinging well, Pacific keeps it alive. There's Swain. Tips it over.
Wow. Keller with a big-time block, baby.
Well, what's the term they use in baseball? A five-tool player where you can do everything?
Yeah,
This is a five-tool player on the
I
volleyball
mean, it doesn't
court.
get more beautiful than that right there. What a block by Keller.
Irani, product of Italy, puts it over the net. Oregon State,
Swain, what a
decision
dig.
there to put it over. And barely past Swain, puts one on the board for the Beavers. Now they've won twice as much as they've lost this season for a reason. They're 16-8 overall for a reason. But Pacific has done a great job just to hang in there
They
with
really
an
have.
obviously very stacked Oregon State squad.
You know, this OSU team, they love long rallies. They love to keep balls alive, and it's going to make for an exciting match here.
And puts it where the defense ain't.
Name of the game, right?
Ties it up at 11. It's been one heck of an opening set. We thank you for joining us here on the ESPN app. Always a great time in the 209. Gutierrez handles it. There's Swain. Can't quite put it away. Oh. Long rally.
We're going to be seeing a lot of long rallies here.
Oregon State has an answer. I thought Pacific had him at the net, but it was not to be.
Yeah,
And Oregon State takes the lead.
just a great read right there. Finding where the defense isn't. Just a huge gap right there, and Oregon State learns how to mind it.
There's the tip. I thought it was a good decision, but nice recovery by the Beavers.
I thought that hit the floor, but
And two bodies at the net. Keller can't put it away. And Oregon extends the lead to 2.
Oregon State's outside hitters, they have just such heavy volume attackers. They're efficient and physical, and certainly Pacific's defense is going to be tested here tonight, but Keller.
It was blocked at the net, but a little low. Trickles down on the other side, giving Pacific the point and the serve back. There's Allison Cox. Product of Boise, Idaho. Athletic pedigree. Key member of this Tigers squad. Gutierrez. Blue trick. And it's in. Just
What
barely.
a ball. She just put it perfectly, placed that thing. And, you know, this is why Coach Greg Gibbons just wants Logan Blue Trick back, because she can do it all.
Cox continues from the service line.
5 aces in the last match for Allie. She set all kinds of career highs in that one.
There's Blue Trig. And Keller attempts the block. Had a bad angle on the ball, unfortunately for the Tigers. Now to the service line. Narlee Oglu. And Keller sends it wide. Right idea, trying to find a hole in the defense. Sends it wide.
You know, Jake, we mentioned Allie Cox, and just, you know, Coach was saying, like, she is everything that you want in a volleyball athlete and person, not just on the court, but off the court too. She's physical, competitive. She's an exceptional leader, and, you know, it's hard because she's the QB of this offense, and she still asks just for more workloads, you know, and for Coach, he's like, listen, just enjoy the moment, keep doing what you're doing, but she just handles everything so positively. And he says that he likes to tell her, like, she's just such a nice person, even on the floor, even against, like, her competitors. Like, if somebody has a good kill, she'll be like, good kill. And he's like, no, like, you're not supposed to be nice to the opponents. Like, stop being nice to them. Like, that's not like tell your teammates good kills. Don't tell them, but
Universally nice.
Yeah, she almost celebrates her opponents because that's just the type of a person she is. You know, she wants to see, she can recognize, right? Like good is good, but yeah, her energy just sets the tone for this whole group. And
building
what
on
an
the future.
athlete.
Yeah, that's one of the building blocks to build a successful program. As this Pacific squad navigates a season with the youngest squad in the country, 11 freshmen.
Yep, consistency has definitely been a struggle for them because how young they are, but
Narlioglu back to serve. 5'10" sophomore from Turkey. There's Gutierrez. There's Keller. And Oregon State has too much size at the net, extends the lead, and gets the serve back.
Yeah, I mean,
retains the serve, I should say.
Yeah, that was just tough right there. I mean, Oregon State's just so good right there at the net, and Keller really just had nowhere to go with it.
Keller,
that one will work. Okay.
Keller had some more height on that one, some more velocity on that one.
What does Aaliyah say? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, and she does. And that one leads to a big point for Pacific.
Are we dating ourselves with our pop culture references?
Probably. It's okay.
These college kids.
Yeah.
There's Keller.
If they don't know that song, then I really need to learn them. I'm sorry.
And unfortunately for Keller, sails a little bit long. Oregon State snatches back that service just as quickly as they lost it. And now, Hester for the Beavers. Blue trick. It's long. Pacific having some trouble finding holes in the defense. Many of their attempted kills have sailed long in this contest, thus leading to a 4-point advantage at this moment in time for the Beavers. Gutierrez.
You know, if you're Pacific, you just really want to force Oregon State out of system. They really rely on high, predictable balls. So, you know, Pacific just needs to be a little bit more crafty with where they place the ball.
Split-second decisions, a lot of kills, attempted kills, have missed the mark. Here's Gutierrez, number 30. From Manteca, California. I'm familiar with that town.
Okay, Gutierrez there with the ace. Love to see it.
Service ace. Another young building block of this squad.
Yep.
From the libero position.
Coach got to watch her whole high school career and just loves what she brings to the squad, the energy. And her and Jalen are
just down the road at St. Mary's.
Yeah, you know, her and Jalen, they're like besties. They do all these fun videos on Instagram together, and
it's like Chris Paul and Steph Curry. You know, it's experience and younger, but
exactly.
You have a great respect, and it goes out of bounds. So yeah, you have that same position and a lot of respect.
I mean, if you're a Gutierrez, what a better player to learn from than Jalen Swain, who's just been fantastic and leads the conference in digs per set.
Here's Cormier for the Beavers. Nice job by Gutierrez, makes the adjustment.
Maisie Smith.
Great job by Maisie Smith. You can see some of the players on Pacific now are pulling that string, are attempting kills in different spots of the court after being unsuccessful several times earlier. And here's Kushan stepping up to the service line, a product of Italy, but she's only a sophomore. So hopefully many more years. Leads the team in assists. Tip.
Wow, Gutierrez with a big dig.
Matthias. Keller. Leaps. And can't quite put it away. Pacific doing an admirable job of hanging in there.
Olivia is just such a dominating player. You know, we talk about it, how, you know, you always say, like, she could do your job, right? Like, she does every single job so well.
Yep.
She's certainly going to be missed, and this is her final home game here with Pacific, and Coach said that he recruited her entire life. Like literally since she was a little girl, he's been watching her and, wanting her to be over here. And, she spent those first years with Fresno State. And he said she finally woke up and realized she's on the right side of history being here at Pacific. So.
A storybook ending, though. Keller from Modesto, just down the street. About 20 miles from this building is Modesto, maybe 30. Here's Swain. They're out of position. Oregon State out of position. The official notices. So Swain, don't know if that counts as an ace, but she came into this contest leading the team with 32 this season. And now a timeout. Oregon State can feel the Pacific is on their tail.
Oh yeah, just
almost caught up.
Almost caught up. 19, just 1 point behind Oregon State. But yeah, this is, coaches, they know, when they can feel the momentum shifting, right? But I feel like Pacific has had some great momentum throughout this whole match. I mean, you talk about what do you want to see out of your team when they have a second go-around against a squad who dominated them in the match previous, right? You want to see them improve. You want to see them build off of what they've done before, do better, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of Pacific. I mean, they look so much better, and it's a great measuring stick for them, too. The hitting percentage was, not to be rude, but it was terrible against them.
One thing about competition is when you play a team that on paper is better than you, that makes you better. We've seen it throughout sports, throughout teams that are building a program, building success. It's great to play a team that's 16-8. It's great to play a team that's 10-4 in conference play. It's great to be holding your own here on your home floor, here on senior night in the first set.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a Power 5 physically in size, and they're just so disciplined, and like you said, just a great measuring stick for this young squad to go up against such a solid Oregon State team. But who isn't solid in this conference, Jake? I mean, really.
Here's Jalen Swain, 5'3", Sacramento native.
Woo-hoo.
From that 916. There's Swain again. Here's Keller. Nice job by the Beavers. Gives up the free ball, a little discombobulated, sails on the far side of the court there, and Pacific has tied it up.
And I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but we all know that Pacific doesn't have a hard time getting to 20, right? It's those last 5 points. That's something that coach has been harping on all season long, to finish. Exactly, so we'll see.
Learn how to win was the term that coach used for us.
Yikes, that was rough right there. Hey, if anybody knows how to win, it's definitely Jalen Swain, and you can tell she's not letting anything go by her, past her. She's communicating.
Here's Matthias. Matthias, I should say. Matthias puts it over. Here's Keller. Knots things up once again. And Varani steps up to the service line.
One-handed big-time dig by Gutierrez. She's so phenomenal. I mean, in Swain, she's just building her up, saying, that's right. That's how you do things around here. You're learning.
Well, Valentina Varani has cemented herself as one of the most prolific blockers in program history. She enters this weekend with 91 total blocks, just 9 away from tallying the team's first 100-block season since 2019.
Val just brings incredible energy. She's just such a huge presence for this team, a player that, Greg wishes that he could have longer, right?
She's tripled her aces from the
something
previous 3 seasons combined.
Okay, it looks like it was actually Oregon State's point.
Well, when the smoke clears, Oregon State is up 2. That is a game changer right there.
Let's see if Pacific can respond here.
I gotta shake it off.
Jeez Louise.
And not enough communication next to the net. Makes it 23-20.
Val.
Coach Gibbons can see the frustration on the face of his players and calls a very quick timeout.
I mean, as soon as that happened, Val looked straight at Coach like, ugh, it's just, sometimes those types of things happen.
Yeah,
you don't want them to, and you can't let those things happen against a team like Oregon State. But
yeah, we thought we were looking at 21-21. About 40 seconds later, it's 23-20. And he talked about it with us in the post game of the win that they had last time on this court. Coach said they have to learn how to win together. They've been playing from behind so much all season, though. It's kind of exhausting. And it could be one of those things where it's, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. Well, you know, those last 5 points, you know, that has been their struggle, and it's something that they definitely need to learn from. We saw them put up a good fight against Santa Clara just a few days ago, so we'll see how they're able to bounce back here. You know, just to love on those seniors a little bit more, and the graduates actually, and Jalen Swain. I mean, this is a player that coach is going to miss a ton. She's the only returning starter from last year. She's really embraced this leadership and really has embraced this young squad. She's become such a leader on this team vocally and just...
Yeah. Swain actually recorded her 1,000th dig of her career earlier this season.
She did.
Big milestone.
Yeah, huge. She's a baller. So is Keller.
Nice job coming out of the timeout by Keller.
There is literally no give up in this team. They really don't give up. They battle. And it starts in practice.
Here's Ferrani from the service line. Goes long. Little amped up on senior night. Puts it a little too long. And Oregon State is within one of closing out the first set.
Let's see how Pacific can respond here.
Here's Swain. Keller again.
Keller has been just attacking.
But Oregon has an answer. Oregon State, I should say. And it's in.
That's right. Allie Cox has the final laugh right there.
Staying alive.
As they're just 2 points.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance, you know.
Comes to within two. Big, loud crowd here at the Alex G. Spanos Center. And it was not quite to be. That makes it 25-22 to close out this opening set here in the 209. Pacific puts up a great fight, fights back from several deficits, but now it's Oregon State that prevails by 3 and takes this opening set.
Well, you know, some key takeaways and things to be proud of with Pacific in that first set is just the hot start that they got on. You know, when you have a home crowd like this behind you, you want to start that way, you know, and you don't want to have any... Hello and welcome back to Alex G. Spanos Center. Pacific taking on Oregon State. The Beavers took set 1, 25-22. It was competitive, full of long rallies. Pacific feeding off this home crowd behind us, and what a day to do it here on senior night, but to play such a fantastic first set. And let me tell you, this crowd was into it.
Now, leading the way for the Oregon State Beavers was Jackie Matias. 10 assists. Helping out teammates for success. Pacific down 0-1 to start this second set. If you're just joining us, it's senior night. Speaking of seniors, Jalen Swain, who is one of those, will be serving it for the Tigers. Over the net it goes. Pacific has an answer. There's Gutierrez again. Oregon State has been terrific.
Oh no, just went the wrong way. And Jalen knew it. It just came off her hands just wrong.
Couldn't control the ball the way she wanted, and Oregon State starts this thing on a positive note. After the success in the first set, now to serve it, Regan Shields, 5'10" sophomore from Ladera Ranch, California.
My neck of the woods, there in Orange County.
The OC.
Yeah. Great dig right there.
And puts it between the blockers.
Yeah, that's what Oregon State does best right there. Those middles, big block presence. They're effective and slide and quick attacks, and we're seeing a little bit of that.
Cormier, too much velocity a second ago. Here's Regan Shields.
Big dig. Yeah.
And the size at the net.
Yep.
propels Oregon State to a 3-0 advantage.
Oregon State just really dominating here in this second set.
Here's Regan Shields again with the serve. Not exactly what Pacific wanted.
Yeah.
And tries to give up the free ball, but puts too much mustard on it.
This
And
one's,
it's 4-0.
it's just a little bit sloppy here for Pacific in the second set. So
Kind of the letdown of coming all the way back, but coming up short in that first set has kind of trickled over into the second set. Gutierrez. Oregon State point. Pacific attempted to give it back on their side. And it's 5-0 to start the second set. Pacific ice cold coming out of that first set.
yeah, and I mean, this is just a good timeout. Coach Gibbons, you know, he needs to talk things over, let his girls settle in a little bit, and, you know, like, he's seen it all in his years here at Pacific, and he knows when the best time is to call a timeout. You know, in his 15th season here, there with Luke Pope and Jenna Heller. Jenna played for him for many years here at Pacific, and
Leaning on his assistants a second ago, and now words of encouragement for this very young squad. 11 freshmen. We've called them the 11 electric freshmen at different times during this very, very up and down season for the Tigers. It's been a pleasure, though. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to watch them grow, to watch them stumble and then recover. Signature win last time we were in this building. Really helped the growth of this team. And now facing a 16-8 opponent and trying to hang with them.
well, you know, winning is learned, right? And you got to learn how to win, and the only way to do that is to win. So
Here's Shields. Pacific needs a side out. There's Keller. Can't quite control it, though. Free ball off the serve. Blocked at the net. Oregon State's done a great job.
Pacific needs to
And
do a
handling
lot
those
more of
kills.
that.
Those kill attempts.
And
Good Pacific.
straight out of a timeout, that's exactly what you want to see right there. Pacific getting on the board.
What do we call Coach Gibbons earlier in the season? The Jedi Master of the momentum switch. Knows when to call timeout, knows when to calm down his team. All that experience kept alive. As Keller trickles off the top of the net and falls on the side of Oregon State. 2 straight for Pacific.
That's exactly how you come back.
Here's Verani, senior. Kept alive by Verani. Free ball.
Here they are forcing Oregon State out of system, but Allie Cox just couldn't get there.
Nice recognition there
Great ball by
Alana
Cormier.
Mars. And here's Hester. All the way from Maine to serve it for Oregon State. Keller. Free ball, chance for Pacific. Attempted the tip, but Oregon State had an answer and
With
a
a tip
tip
of
of their own.
And a little lefty at that. It looks really pretty.
Extends the lead to 5 once again. Despite 2 straight points for Pacific, Oregon back to their largest lead of this contest. Hester, transfer from San Diego. Again to serve it.
Hester
6'4"
has been
graduate.
a problem for Pacific. 9 total kills here.
Floats in the serve, gives an opportunity, but it's out. Pacific had an opportunity, hits the shins of the official. Can't tell if it was out before that. Coach Gibbons with a conversation and a challenge.
There you go.
Was it in the court or was it not? We got our lesson.
We did. you know,
But
there's always time to learn in this business, right?
very savvy challenge by Coach Greg Gibbons.
And why not? It was close. It did look out to me from what I could see, but, you know, I've been tricked many times before, even when it's right in front of me.
True. We both
Could look at the replay right here and see.
We both wear glasses.
Give us a better idea. I got my contacts in, but okay.
That looks in.
That does look in.
That looks in from
Okay,
our perspective
Coach.
here on the replay. Great job by the production crew, Michael and Cole and everyone.
It was right by her foot. Like, you would think that she would have gotten a good look at it, but maybe she couldn't look down in time. It was coming her way. And
Split-second decision.
Yeah.
We look down. But yeah, that looked in from this perspective. Coach Gibbons sees that he doesn't want the lead to get to be too much.
well, it was just a really good challenge because it looked like it wasn't. Yep. And the challenge is successful for Coach Gibbons.
So even though the squad is young, the coach is not. The coach has been around the block. Coach Gibbons has seen so much over the years when it comes to this level of volleyball. So he knows.
The coaching staff over here on the Oregon State side is saying there's no way it hit her foot, but from the replay we saw, and I'm sure they have a better look at the replay than we do, it looked in. So good call, good
Here's
challenge.
Allison Cox. And that one goes long. They fight so hard to prevent that, to prevent that 8th point, and then it just happens. So the serve goes back over to Goldstein, 5'9" freshman from Honolulu, Hawaii, for the Oregon State Beavers. Swain controls it.
Ooh, nice little play right there.
Once again, blocked, kept
Great
alive by
save.
Jalen Swain. Kept alive by Pacific.
Blue trick. Yeah, that one was tough right there.
Finds a hole in the defense.
Yeah, Lauren just sees that hole, and she was excited about it.
Front line of Oregon State doing an excellent job to maintain that advantage here in the second set. There's Gutierrez.
Woo!
And Swain, 100 miles an hour off the right hand
Keller just
of Olivia
sent
Keller.
that one.
Yeah, Olivia Keller. 100 miles an hour
I mean,
off her right hand. That goes back to Pacific and keeps this thing within striking distance.
She has such a big swing. This team's gonna miss that swing next season, that's for sure.
Kept alive.
Look at her doing it all.
There's Blue Trick.
Oh, Oregon State, great
Oregon
at
State
keeping
has
it
an
alive.
answer. Oregon State has an answer just when you think Pacific is going to get to within 5. It was not to be.
You know, you talk
now.
about just like that lopsided game that we saw, you know, the last time that they played. I mean, this is a bit of a redemption game for Pacific, and
Gabriel with the serve for Oregon State.
no looker by Allie. She loves those.
And kills it.
Maisie Smith thought, she looked up and she's like, okay, good. That counts.
So Maisie Smith with her 3rd kill this afternoon. There's Gutierrez.
Woo! Great dig right there. Dietrich tried.
Lots of pressure from the Beavers.
You know, in order to be successful in this one, Pacific just really needs to win the reading and timing battle. They've struggled with that here in the second set, so.
Matias serves it. Gutierrez has an answer. Here's Blue Trick. Blocked at the net.
She says no, that it wasn't a net violation.
It looks like it was below the net when
Verani needs to take
tried to
that
keep it
energy and literally put it into the next play right now. It should make her mad. It should make her frustrated.
Looked like it might have went long. Gutierrez had to make a split-second decision. It was right at her. And becomes an ace for Oregon State.
Yeah, Coach can see how this one's going right now, and Oregon State is dominating this second set, and they're loving every minute of it.
13-5, the advantage of the Beavers. They come into this thing 16-8, 10-4 in conference play. We are seeing exactly why we're in this second set.
You know what you don't see very often these days, Jake? That's players stay all 4 years at one school, right? The way that the transfer portal is, you know, you just never really know. And Logan Blutrick is one of those players who has spent her entire career here at Pacific. Didn't play last year because of an injury. I think she played in 19 matches the year before that, but we'll see.
It's her best season yet.
Yeah, it's her best season.
She
She's
ranks,
growing.
second on the team in both kills and blocks.
Yeah, she's really come into her own in the second half of the season. You know, the first half she was still trying to find that consistency, find that rhythm, and you can expect that, especially coming off, you know, of a year of not playing, right? Like, it's going to take her some time to get back to live action. Like, live action, you can't mimic live action. It comes from real games. Yeah, you can. You can do your best in practice, you know, but there's nothing like playing against an opponent, and you know, we're seeing her just grow. So I really hope that she does return, you know. The real world is always going to be there.
For those of us that have just joined us, this is the second set. Oregon State leads 1-0 and 13-5 in the second set. Blocked at the net and extends that lead.
This size of Oregon State is just haunting Pacific right now.
Yeah, they have dominated this second set. Lead by 9 at this point in time. Came out hot and stayed hot.
You know, it was that blocking that dictated their first meeting, so we're seeing much of the same.
Point for Pacific.
They'll take it.
That was the attack line. Now Couchand, number 1. From Italy, 5'10" sophomore. Back to serve it. See, very enthusiastic are the Tigers on the sideline there.
Great serve. Yeah.
And that's a kill for Oregon State.
Lauren with 339 kills on the season. She's has such an arm. We're seeing a little bit of that here today. This beautiful afternoon here in Stockton. It was so pretty outside. The drive from Sacramento was so nice. After getting some rain here, nice to see some sunshine. Now it will be Point Pacific, Maisie Smith.
Oregon State has been really successful at blocking it back over. On that particular occasion, though, it was not to be. Maisie Smith asserts her dominance, asserts herself on that last exchange. Here's swing. Blocked at the net.
Swain already with an ace today, and they'll take the point.
When the smoke clears on that one, Oregon State can't find any organization, and Pacific slowly climbing their way back. Here's Swain again, leads the team in aces. And the ball sails into the pep band, who do a great job. We honored some seniors earlier tonight from the pep band. They do a great job. It's hard work. They sound great each and every time that we have anything going on in this building. Here's Regan Shields once again. There's Keller, keeps it alive.
Allie Cox now says, "Are you her?" She says, "Yes, I am her." She just wanted to make sure she knew.
We touched upon it in the past. Allie Cox has a very impressive athletic pedigree. Parents both played sports here in this particular college.
Yep, Dad played baseball, Mom played volleyball here with Pacific, and Heather, and she was so great for this squad. And you know, when you have athletes whose parents also played, they're coachable, you know. They know what it's like to be under pressure. They know the work ethic that it takes to be good. They've watched their parents do it, and I'm sure The parents instilled that in her as she was growing up playing the game, and you can see it.
Keller attempt to kill it a second ago, but Oregon State had an answer.
Wow, what a rally. Yeah.
Swain keeps it alive, but only momentarily.
Anna Mars just saw it, and it was just too easy for her.
And Oregon State gobbles up that opportunity and has now doubled up the Tigers. It's 18-9.
Okay, Allie Cox.
Point Pacific.
Giving her a little taste of what Pacific just went through right there.
Substitutions onto the floor. Gould.
You know, at their
back
best,
in for the Beavers.
at their best, you know, Pacific, the fast tempo offense, they have a gritty back row, you know, with defense and purposeful serving. You know, that's when they're at their best. That's what we're used to seeing at their worst. Unforced errors late, getting stuck in rotations, sort of predictable swings. And when you play against a team like Oregon State, you can't be predictable.
Allison Cox with that serve.
Big
Gutierrez.
dig.
Nice dig. But once again, at the net, Oregon State has an answer. Another substitution for the Beavers as they get the serve back on their side of things. Cormier from Quebec, north of the border. Sails it too long, and Pacific, the deficit is 8, but they're hanging around.
Exactly, and that's all it is. It's about chipping away. You know, we watched a lot of chipping away in Game 7 of the World Series, right? You think it's over, but it's not. You just got to continue to play your game.
Maisie Smith at the net, but Oregon had two bodies. Oregon State had two bodies.
Oregon State's just so big at the net, and we're seeing that size. It's just really just tough for Pacific to match up against their size.
Here's Gabriel, 6'4" freshman from San Diego for the Beavers. Lefty. Pacific gives up the free ball but stays alive. And the point goes over to the Beavers.
You know, just going back on these seniors, you know, at this point, you just try to savor every moment. You never want it to end, right? I mean, these players, the coaches, they spend more time with each other than they do their actual families. So it's like when the season gets to be towards the end like this, you hate to see players go. These relationships you build all year long, for years.
Kept alive, but unfortunately for the Tigers, sails a little too long on that far side of the court there. Makes it 22-11. And Kayla Gabriel will extend her service opportunities. Blue trick.
That will work.
There's some positive momentum. There's something positive there for the Tigers. The deficit is a lot, but you got to keep fighting.
Keep chipping away, Jake. Chip, chip, chip.
St. Mary's High School's own puts it over the net.
There you go, big dig, but just comes off of her hand wrong, goes left.
Oregon State trying to slam the door shut on this second set after already taking the first set. Matias, number 14, will serve again. 5'9" junior.
Big block by Blue Trick.
There's Matias. Tip game and placed in a perfect position for Oregon State.
Yeah,
Moves themselves to within one of closing out the second set here at the Alex G. Spanos Center.
Something that's just been so amazing to watch with these setters for Oregon State. I mean, they run just a fast, clean tempo. They push the pace, especially in transition, and
Kept
it's
alive.
been hard for Pacific to keep up with it.
Relinquishes the free ball, and it was never the same after that. Oregon State dominates this second set here in Stockton, wins by 13, and they are up 2-0 overall.
Pacific looking to avoid the sweep coming into set 3, and they do that just by what we talked about, just chipping away. As you know, we mentioned at their best, they're a fast tempo offense, you know, with a gritty back row. We've seen how gritty, you know, Jalen Swain and Gutierrez can be together. But, you know, at their worst, with this youth, you know, come some unforced errors late, you know, kind of getting stuck in rotations, and they need to fix that coming into this third set. And
well, it's
we'll
been
see.
a very, very tough day so far for the Tigers, but we'll see you back in just a second here on ESPN+.
You know, serving plus first contact really dictates everything in this matchup.
You see Oregon State comes out into this third set, cruising to a comfortable lead. Pacific looks a little more subdued. They know what they have in front of them.
And we'll see how Pacific can bounce back, especially with that physical presence at the net, you know, from the middles. You know, they need to get high. They need to get two hands in front. They need to be aggressive. Hitters must be ready and engaged in transition. You know, these are just big things that need to happen in order to come back and try to get the reverse sweep.
Keller has 8 kills. Maisie Smith has 5. Allie Cox has 5. Bright spots thus far for the Tigers.
Okay, Maisie.
Make that 6 for Maisie.
Maisie comes out aggressive, swinging hard, and Pacific, they benefit from it.
Now Gutierrez, number 30 for the Tigers. Blocked at the net, but does not go to the correct side. Out of bounds. Knots this thing at 1 very early in the third set.
You know, we talk about Bella and Jay, and, you know, those are Pacific's little minis, they call them. You know, they play like they're 7-footers, but they're about 4'11",
5'2".
Exactly.
Tia Shum
Just little Polly Pockets.
serves it.
Maisie's such
Oregon
a dog.
State has done an impeccable job of keeping balls alive. I think they're going Pacific's way.
Oh, yeah. Val wanted that one bad, and I know that one feels good for her. She's been disappointed in the way that she's been playing in the first 2 sets. You can read it on her face. That one has to feel good.
Bouchard, the sophomore, will serve it up. Oh, that smelled like an ace. Oregon State does a great job of digging it out, but it goes out of bounds on the kill attempt. Point for Pacific.
And this is exactly how you want to start the set if you're Pacific. Up 3-1, getting Oregon State out of system, getting them discombobulated. It's the only way that you're going to beat the squad.
Blocked at the net, but goes out of bounds. Point for the Beavers. Gets that serve back. And Shields will step up to the line.
Some positive notes from Pacific. You know, I know Coach he was curious to see how they've grown against such a physical team like Oregon State, and I think what we're seeing proves that they have. You know, their attacking numbers have gone up significantly, and it's just been a joy to watch these girls grow.
Goes into the net, ties this thing at 3. Regan Shields, Southern California product, at the line. Coach Gibbons he thinks there was a net touch. As the official holds up the number 3, which means it could be a net touch. Wants an official review. Knotted up at 3 in this third set. Today, it's all about the seniors. Today, it's all about those players that have really spent the last 4+ years of their life dedicated to this sport. Logan Blutrick, Jalen Swain, Olivia Keller, and Valentina Verani, our hat is off to you.
And look, Olivia maybe didn't play all of her years here at Pacific, but something that Coach pointed out is that she's going to graduate as a Tiger, and that means a lot to the staff. She's going to be coming back to this school. This is going to be her alma mater, and, you know, what a player to look up to for some of these younger girls.
Now here's Shields. Looks like things are still knotted at 3. And it goes out of bounds. I thought it might have touched Oregon at the net there, Oregon State at the net there, but it did not. So Shields continues the service. Keller. There's Verani. Tipped in the right spot by the Beavers. It's 5-3.
And look, we talk about no lack of effort for Pacific. We saw Maisie and Kushan just almost dive into each other, trying to make the play happen, keep it alive. Doesn't end up in their favor, but nonetheless, just great effort.
Shields again, great serve. Tremendous serve there by Shields. Nobody could have took that back over the net. That's an ace and extends the lead. She'll try to do it again. Sends it over with the free ball. Not what Pacific wanted. Gutierrez now. There's Maisie Smith.
Just a little bit long.
We saw that earlier in this contest. When Pacific would attempt a kill, a lot of them were sailing long.
Well, it's just because of the placement of where they have to put it. You know, they have a game plan coming in, and, you know, we talked about how they can't be predictable with their swings and where they place the ball, and they're trying to get creative, but with that, you know, comes the chance of maybe it going out.
And Pacific stays in it. Swain now. Leader of this team in aces. The perfect person you want serving the ball with this deficit of 3.
Leads the team in personality, too.
But Oregon State has an answer.
Big side out for Oregon State as they take the 4-point lead.
Here's Hester having a monster afternoon thus far. Good job by Gutierrez to give the Tigers a chance. Once again.
Big swing by Keller.
Oregon State had an answer.
Yeah.
Their swing. Keller again. Tips it. The attack line was crossed. Therefore, Pacific gets that point. There's Verani. And a little too long.
You know, they've gone through some ups and downs with their serving, and, you know, Coach just encourages them to take their time, you know. However they practice it is how they need to do it here in a match. You don't want to speed it up. You don't want to slow it down. You want to just keep doing what is comfortable for you, what you practice, your routine. You know, you don't want to get out of your routine because that's when you see errors happen.
Kamano Goldstein, number 5, serves it for the Beavers. And once again, a little long on the attempt to kill.
Can't say enough about Olivia Keller. I know those ones are tough, right? But you don't want her to stop swinging. You don't want her to get discouraged. But, you know, when she was at Fresno State, she was a good player, but she wasn't shining the way that she's shining here.
Service error for the Beavers. Keeps Pacific within 4 in this 3rd set. And here's Allison Cox.
The gamer.
Nice serve.
Wow, what a serve.
Great job.
Okay.
That, my friends, is an ace.
Add into the aces. She had 5 against Santa Clara, and here she is doing her thing. And Oregon State, they want a timeout, and rightfully so, as Pacific starts chipping away.
Wow. Great serve second ago. Oregon State sees that. Coach Bonanik sees that and doesn't want one ace to turn into 3 or 4. When you look at the stat sheet, though, thus far, for Oregon State, Matias has 22 assists. A key reason it's a 2-0 advantage for Oregon State as it stands right now, plus they lead by 3 in this third set. As I stare behind me, great, enthusiastic, big crowd here at the Alex G. Spanos Center. This is Sarah Hodges with me. My name is Jake Sherman. It has been a pleasure all season long to bring you Pacific Volleyball on ESPN+.
I know, and this is going to be our last time together, Jake, you know, calling games. And it's been such a pleasure to work with you. I've learned so much from you and with you and just about the game and,
Likewise.
You know, doing this thing that we're doing here. And it's fun. And fun. Just I get so excited to come and work here each and every match and just watch these girls grow and just be a part of something, right? Such a blessing.
There is nothing on this planet like live sports. There's a serve.
And volleyball, women's volleyball specifically, just such a growing sport. And
oh, yeah.
You can see why. So competitive, so much hard work, such great athletes to watch. Olivia Keller, just one of them.
Oregon State several times keeps it alive. Much grit shown at the net by the Beavers.
And grit, too, from Pacific at the net. Oh, the back row just couldn't get there in time.
Just enough space for Oregon State to extend their lead to 4. And Gabriel will serve it. From San Diego, 6'4" freshman. Left-handed.
Yep.
Ends up on the wrong side for the Beavers. Pacific gets that point. Stays within 3. Here's Olivia Keller. Leadership role offensively for this club.
Wow, big time blocks right there by 2 freshmen. Another freshman. And it ends with the freshman getting the point, Maisie Smith.
And Pacific has climbed back to within 2. Keller will serve it once again.
And listen, this is exactly what you want out of your squad, you know, to compete. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're competing. Yeah, maybe Oregon State is on paper the better team, but
and Oregon State has an answer.
Pacific definitely with that grit. And
Matias will serve it again.
oh, Allie Cox just
couldn't quite control it. Extends the lead.
Way. Yeah, she just had her back to the net and just didn't.
When it hits the net like that, you never know which way it's going to bounce.
Oh,
Quick
Allie
second
was trying
decision,
to create something spectacular right there, and it just didn't end up in Pacific's favor. But, you know, sometimes you like to get a little bit tricky, you know? You like to have a little bit of fun with it, and we see her no-lookers, and, you know. Right now, Oregon State up 14-9 as they look for the sweep here. We're going to take a quick break. More action coming up here on ESPN+. Stay with us.
And we're back here at the Spanos Center. Here comes the serve. And the serve materializes into an ace. Oregon State extends the lead here in this third set. Already up 2-0.
Yeah, Pacific, you don't want that to happen. I mean, that's not the way that you want to go down.
Kept alive.
Big
Blocked at the
blocks.
net. Oregon State with another opportunity.
Big dig by
Gutierrez
Gutierrez.
says, not on my watch. But Oregon State recovers time and time again from compromising positions and extends the lead some more. And Coach Gibbons calls a timeout. They're down 7, already down 2 sets to none. Teachable moment here in Stockton.
Yeah, he's talking to Allie Cox, who, you know, he just brags about constantly. You know, he says that he can be hard on her. He can tell her how it is, you know, and she's such a positive person. She takes everything just so well. So it's been such a pleasure for him to coach her. And she's got some years of eligibility left, and Pacific stoked about that because
yeah, you can see the blueprint for a successful team right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
11 freshmen. You've seen so many flashes of brilliance this season. Yes, it's been hard to put it all together and get a lot of W's, but you do see promise. You do see optimism. You do see enthusiasm. Players like Gutierrez, players like Cox, players like Maisie Smith are the future of this team.
it's just about consistency, you know, that's the reoccurring challenge, you know, but it's all part of having a young team, and the more matches they play, the better that they're going to get.
You build chemistry.
Yeah.
You talk about sports. A team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they struggled for several years with several young players, and now they are the class of the NBA.
Absolutely.
They have developed a chemistry that even when key players are out, they still do well.
Yep.
And I see a young squad here that can develop amazing chemistry over the years.
Unbreakable.
Service error. Point Pacific. And now, Bella Gutierrez will serve it. Some might say the ball of energy of this squad.
Absolutely. Oh, can't quite get there. I mean, just the velocity of the ball. I mean, it's just, they make it so hard to dig.
Well, Hester has had a day. Hester leading everyone with 13 kills. Kept alive. There's Blue Tree.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Okay.
Pacific thought for a split
Yeah,
second
I
that
mean,
it was
so
their
did I.
point.
So did I. but
Oregon has done that all day long, but they're not returning that one.
Nope.
Point Pacific. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And the Tigers are fighting their way back in this thing.
And that was Maisie Smith. I mean, you just can't say enough about her. I felt like yesterday that she passed that 100 career kill mark, and now she's at like 130. She's just so phenomenal.
Deshawn.
Wow.
And Gutierrez gave it her best shot, kept it alive, but didn't put it in a position where her teammates could do anything with it. And it makes it 18-11. Regan Shields, product of San Margarita High School. Great placement on the serve. And blocked at the net.
Oregon State is just so big at the net, and
Alana Marks.
It's so hard to get balls past them.
And Shields continues. See some eye contact there with the players of the Tigers. And there's Varani.
Big response right there for Pacific.
Varani struggled with some calf issues earlier this season, and there was a difference when she was not on the floor.
And she really wasn't off the floor long, right? Like, Coach would
Game
bring
and
her
a
in.
half,
Yeah,
yeah.
game and a half, but you're right. In that game and a half, her presence was just missed so much. Chloe Griever, just a freshman, started for her, and she did a great job. But, you know, she just brings so much physicality to this squad. And, you know, the fact that they are so young and she's a graduate, I mean, it's experience that's invaluable.
Here's Hester with the serve. Put up in the air. There's Keller.
Keller knew if she sent that one hard, it was going to go long, so she tried to do the little tip. And we'll see if it ends up working out as this rally continues.
And the Beavers make it 9. Up 9, and Hester's serve will continue. Hester up to 13 kills on the afternoon. And almost had an ace.
You know what, this Oregon State team just gets Pacific out of system, and you know, on their return, they're just discombobulated.
The placement of that serve really set everything up for success later for Oregon State.
I mean, it's their game, and we're watching.
Pacific was scrambling ever since the serve came off her hand.
Yeah, that's what good serves do.
Looking to do it again. Better opportunity now for the Tigers, but blocked at the net by the Beavers.
Verani tried to get there, but the ball was just coming down awkwardly, and she couldn't get underneath it.
Well, Hester, it's only fitting that Hester trying to put this thing away from the service line. That's an ace. And the Beavers are within one of a 3-0 sweep.
Yep, match point for the Beavers, and we'll see if Pacific can keep this one alive and stay in it. Great dig.
Gutierrez showing some heart. Ball trickles off the net. And it sails long, and that's all she wrote. 3-0, 25-12 here in this third set. It's a sweep for Oregon State here. Flashes of brilliance for the Tigers, but overall, a whole lot of size at the net and a whole lot of great play by the Beavers. This thing is done.